Hello, Craig. Ready to get this party started with us?
I think so.
Oh, he's lighting up. That means he's listening. Way to go, Craig. Such a team player.
Yeah, but he never contributes, you know? He's the silent partner.
He's basically, in a way, transcribing us live. He's like our courtroom... Are they called transcriptionists? No, they're not. They're called something.
Yes.
Stenographer?
A stenographer, yeah.
Yeah, he's like our stenographer. That's a very...
I was going to say he's our Harpo. I do have the right Marx brother, right?
I think so. I'm not sure, to be honest, but it sounds right.
I haven't watched a lot of Marx brother stuff. Yep, Harpo.
Okie dokie. Have you got Audacity up?
I'm loading it up now. I was making sure we had the right Marx brother for Craig, and now we need to get Craig a harp.
Just stop calling him Harpo. If that's what you want, Craig, let us know.
Well, I don't have any objections.
It's very true.
I mean, it's not like he hasn't said that he doesn't want to be Harpo.
True. He hasn't said that he does either.
True, but this is an opt-out EULA, not an opt-in.
Fair enough.
And I know. Only I would go Harpo, A 1930s reference. Yeah, way to keep it fresh with the kids, right?
The kids these days.
But then again, no, I am the weirdo that's actually excited to go watch Stan and Ollie later, probably this week, on Fandango. It's a biopic about the last tour of Laurel and Hardy.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, Hardy, the big one, was in failing health, and he needed to do one last tour to essentially try to, as what I recall of the teaser, to try to get a little bit more financial stability for his wife. But then again, looking at some of the old silent film or very early talkies groups, it's really sad just how they were treated.
Yeah.
Just look at the Three Stooges. It's almost like the early industry for a new entertainment medium is kind of shit until there's a union that protects the actors.
Oh my god. You solved it.
I brought it around.
Way to go. You did it. I knew I could count on you.
We got there in the end. So that's the end of our recording tonight.
Sweet. Back to that sweet, sweet new Battletech. Or maybe Forza, goodness. I could go either way.
All right, same Forza.
We could just can the whole show and go play Forza instead for 2 hours.
Hey, I had it on my on my list for a potential game club.
Yeah.
To be fair, I don't think I want to play Forza in 2 months, or continuously play Forza in 2 months.
No, probably not.
But hey, we definitely got our dollars worth.
Oh, yeah. All right. You ready?
I don't think I made a dollar stretch this far since the last time I played Terraria. Yeah, I think I'm all set. I'm just looking at my levels real quick, and they look all right. I think I need to boost just a smidge. All right, that's a smidge, and looks good enough.
Sweet.
I mean, hey, I see the green bar going back and forth, so that's a good thing, right?
Yep.
And it's not going all the way to red. It's going a little yellowish towards the end. So, it's calibrating out, but it does get angry about it.
Good enough is where we operate best at.
Well, I would say good enough for government work, but that's a low standard these days.
Our standard is much higher than the standard for government work currently. I'm not sure how I feel about that. Part of me is proud that our standard is higher than government work, but part of me is sad that means I'm putting in more effort than someone somewhere else. It's a very odd place to be at.
Feeling conflicted?
Indeed.
Well, look at it this way. You could be rage tweeting at 3 a.m., probably on the toilet, to be honest. To be fair, you won't have as much power as the president, but, you'd be in the same place.
Yeah, relatively speaking.
Just
it's the same place.
Just start referring to yourself in the third person. Instead of Jared, you're the gaming psychologist, and you refer to yourself instead of as gaming psychologist.
All the time. To everyone.
Yeah, that's a very scary thing that he started doing lately, hasn't it?
Yeah.
I saw that, and Twitter emailed it to me and thought, did he just think himself?
It's very conceited.
To be fair, that's not the most worrisome thing he said in the 24 hours. That's not the most worrisome thing he said in the 10 hours. But it's at the same time, it's right.
Yeah.
Do you think he thinks this is all a wrestling stunt? He's trying to, because he was on WWF at one point.
This is all a stunt. I don't know, he thinks this is all a stunt. I don't know if he thinks it's wrestling, but it's got to be he has to think it's a stunt.
Or maybe he thinks that he can't screw up because the deep state is really in control and they won't allow it. Oh, that's a scary thought, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
He's actually trying to sabotage the deep state. But the deep state doesn't exist, so, he's just screwing up.
All right, let's get this party started.
Yeah, off from scary things to other scary things.
Yep. Oh, I was holding that yawn in for 30 seconds, just waiting to do my thing. No, I'm not yawning because of the politics. I'm yawning because I'm getting sleepy. But now I'm good. I'm ready.
Yeah, this has been something that should have happened ages ago. Robert Mueller has agreed to testify publicly before Congress. Yep,
that should have happened immediately. I don't know what he was thinking. With oh no, I've done the report and now it's up to them to take care of things. I have done my part. I'm going to step back now.
I think part of it is just that he didn't anticipate just how much obfuscation there was going to be of the literal wording of the report.
Yeah, probably. Mueller, I don't know tons and tons about him. I've done some research after he started doing the investigation.
He's a very straight shooter, and I think he believed in the system a bit too much for how things have degenerated.
Yeah, I almost said he takes things literally, but I think that's the wrong way to say it.
He's a straight shooter. He goes by the letter of the law.
Yeah, he functions within a very narrow purview. So, he was told, to kind of sum it up, he was told to do the investigation, so he did that investigation. He passed off everything that wasn't directly related to the specific investigation to several of the other cases that are going on right now, and then he finished that and he was like, okay, I'm done, I did my part, now here's your part. And
yeah, but he didn't anticipate Mitch McConnell dragging feet on everything, right?
Yeah, which I'm not sure how he thought that his report would be any different from anything else that's been going on, but I don't know. I think you're right. Maybe I think he still had a little too much faith in the system.
So it's going to be interesting come mid-July when this happens.
Yeah.
And I think part of this is just going to be, it's sad that this has to happen, especially in the age of literally carrying the Great Library of Alexandria in your pocket, or something that makes that look like a pamphlet.
Yeah, and then some.
But just getting all the obfuscation out and make it so that it's in plain text, because the Mueller report is a very long legal document. And unless you know how to read it, which I do not, it is very confusing. So those who have just watched, let's call it bullshit news, have just heard, well, the Mueller report has exonerated the president. It said he did nothing wrong. There's no collusion. No. But they don't cover that. And there was, I'm blanking on who had the town hall that, it was one of the Republican lawmakers that talked about the Mueller report. And people were just flabbergasted because they had only listened to Fox News, so they had heard nothing but what Barr said.
Yeah. Willful ignorance is really frustrating.
Willful ignorance is my biggest psychotic fucking hatred. It's okay not to know something. In this day, it's impossible to know everything. It's impossible really to know a little bit about everything. But to say, I don't know and I don't want to know, just pisses me off. I was listening to, I told you I deleted all my podcast or my backlog of podcasts and re-download everything. I'm very close to just dropping the Penn Jillette podcast because he was talking about how Bill Nye was wrong. And it wasn't factual or anything. He was talking about an interview Bill Nye had, talking about essentially doing science yourself. And the one that he gets asked the most often that people could easily do is, does hot water freeze faster than room temperature water or cold water? Well, he said, do the experiment yourself. And Penn Jillette went off about it, saying, well, just give the answer. That's not the point he was trying to make.
Yeah.
But I realize Penn Jillette has started to go down the crazy hole a lot.
I haven't kept up with Penn in a while.
Ever since he went on the diet and got a guru, and no, I'm not joking, he's gone more and more into the health alternative area, which has a lot of pseudoscience. I mean, his diet would have killed you. It's basically baked potatoes.
Yeah, that would have killed me.
No salt, no nothing. Just potatoes. It's the Mark Watney diet. And no, I'm not joking. If it's not that, it's pretty close to it. He doesn't even get ketchup. Which is just sad, huh?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just... I'm not sure what to do with him anymore. To be fair, I also don't listen to a lot of his stuff anymore because he brings on a lot of health experts. If you get my drift.
Yeah, I think I get your drift.
And it's starting to get a little... Why don't you just tell me to hold a crystal and be done with it?
Well, it sucks. I always liked Penn as sort of this...
skeptical voice.
Yeah. Skeptical voice and a very realistic person.
I don't know. Maybe I'm reading too much into it. I don't know. But it just feels like, Penn Jillette has really changed.
Is this the Sunday School podcast? Or has he got okay. I should give it a listen at some point just to see, because it's been
especially
probably 2 or 3 years since I've listened to an episode. But I should go check it out just to see how much it's changed since the last time I listened to it.
Oh, it'll be a culture shock for you. If you haven't listened to it in years, it's going to be very different. Especially if you pick one of the ones where he starts bringing on some of his buddies. Yeah,
the last time I listened was before we moved, so that would have been 2.5 years ago, at least.
Yeah, I'm actually bringing up my podcatcher, the one on the computer at least. No, I don't want to download a new version. Update podcast. So let's see. He brings on a comedian. This is part 2 of a podcast that I don't have the part 1 of. On street cred, saving money on clothes, reading drugs, and emotional astronauts. So yeah, that's a thing, huh?
Yep.
Let's see. Penn family tour of Newfoundland. Teller doesn't get along with Cobblestone, and David Copperfield makes them nervous. So that may actually be an interesting one. That's not full of hippie goodness. Let's see where view all episodes. There we go. Let's see. Tallying the Tanked. Sexual harassment at the Hulk. Juggling accents and a lesson in consciousness with Tim Jensen, which I have no idea who that is. But you could see where I'm going with it, huh?
Yeah.
Sad, huh?
Yeah, but I guess it happens sometimes. People change.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's time to wrap it up though, because I need to get ready for bed. Unfortunately, my vacation is over.
Yeah,
go
time
back to
for
work tomorrow.
pumpkins.
Indeed. So
good thing you're well rested, so you had a little extra time tonight.
Indeed. But
I wish I saw this earlier. Just saw a video from Sid Alpha. EA blames gamers for Anthem failure.
Yeah, it makes sense that they would do that.
I know what I'm going to be listening to while I eat popcorn for a snack. Or maybe some cheese and crackers or something. Anyway, bye-bye.
Bye. Yep. I'm going to go get a couple of quick things ready and then go to bed. I'm going to go ahead and pack my lunch for tomorrow and a couple other things. But I won't be up much longer than 10 or 15 more minutes. Definitely, I'll be asleep by 1.
Yeah. My plot is do a few things tomorrow, call it an early night, hopefully have the podcast rendered. If it's not, no big deal. Then head out Thursday for some shopping.
Nice.
I'm logged into my into my creator account on YouTube. So, it's my handful of things I'm subscribed to on here that I watch while I'm uploading. And some Tom Scott here. Why sci-fi alien planets look the same? Hollywood's 10-mile zone. What, you've never seen that one?
No, I went to go check my key mailer real quick. I hadn't checked it in a few days. Got a key for a game called Spaceborne. I remember asking for this key. I don't remember exactly what the game is, but it's a space game.
I've got nothing. I've been putting out stuff again, but I got to build up the request,
Yeah. This is the first game I've gotten in several weeks, so. Oh, they changed his boop boop sound.
You did?
Yeah, it's a different pitch. His boop boop. It's a different pitch than it was.
I really wasn't paying attention. Sorry, Craig. I was taking you for granted.
I like your new pitch. It hurts my ears less. Or maybe I'm just going deaf. Maybe it's finally happening. That's the next thing to go. And my poor, sad excuse for a body.
Yeah, you're just... you are pretty tone deaf, so...
Only if I try to sing. Or whistle. Or hum. Or make any kind of music, really.
And talk. Let's not forget talk.
On that front, I'm just nasally.
How about just doing any sort of of any sort of noise.
That's fair.
The only person I know that's tone deaf in their farts.
Oh.
I'm just being mean. I don't know why.
Oh, it's fine.
I mean, it's not untrue. I think. And no, you don't need to prove me wrong.
Yeah. I'm okay right now.
Personally, I don't want to wait while you go clean your pop filter.
Not. Yeah, I'm good. Now that we've got Craig here, though, are you ready to record now?
Yes, I am.
Sweet. Then in 3, 2, 1, record. And for that sync, 3,
2,
1, sync.
Ooh, I was a little late. We're going to do that one again.
I'll fix it in post.
No, do it live.
We'll do it live. I didn't change the date, I don't think, for the show.
Depends on if it still says it's June.
It does. But we're changing that. Now it says it's July.
Am I the only one that doesn't really get fireworks? I'm
No,
not just unpatriotic. That's the other thing, is that people are so crazy about the American flag here. I have several neighbors that get the biggest flag that they can, then put them out, and then just leave them. Leave them to fade and get tattered. It's very poetic, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
It's almost like democracy needs to be maintained.
Yeah, it needs to be maintained and not given over to
Tyrants.
the whims of tyrants.
But hey, we get the military parade finally. Or have you heard about that?
I want to say I'm sorry for being sleepy. My train of thought is just wrecked. I know it's coming. I mean, it won't come through in the edit because I'll cut all that stuff down.
You'll make
I know I've had
better
sections of being quiet because my brain is just
why do you think my throat's so wrecked right now? Well, it's not for the usual reason.
Yeah. Wink. I tried to wink. I tried to give as much as I could on the front before I lost it because I knew it was coming, but I'd rather record a show instead of do Franken, even if I'm going to be sleepy. I have to be sick to not want to record.
Yeah, or I have to be gone.
Busy. Yeah, or you be gone.
Which is happens once a year.
I mean, with holidays towards the end of the year and stuff, I'm gonna be on a trip in a few weeks. It's at the end of the month, so we probably won't record then. Have to have some stuff ready, but that's something to talk about later, not right now. But just try and actually record.
Hey, how about that? We're upholding the Constitution. Trump administration drops bid to put citizenship question on 2020 census.
Yeah,
so hey, it's going to go ahead. I didn't see it.
I mean, I just saw it this afternoon.
I had a little bit of not even personal crisis. I was being supportive of a friend, and ended up starting the show a little bit later because it caught me in the middle of my pre-show prep.
Yeah.
When did American politics become so stupid? Or is it it's always been this stupid and it's just to the forefront?
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure when, but it's definitely in the last couple of years become way more in the forefront.
I personally blame W. I mean, don't get me wrong, Reagan had his dumb moments. But it seemed like W kind of legitimized just... don't get me wrong, W is... I don't think he's stupid, but he played up the dummy aspect, the good old boy aspect of his personality, and made people think that he's a lot dumber than what he actually is. Then you had Sarah Palin, Sarah Palin, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that Sarah Palin's the one that you see so many SNL quotes combined with her actual quotes because her actual quotes are just that fucking stupid. Like, wasn't she actually quoted saying that she reads all the newspapers?
I don't know. I was much younger at that time, and so I'm not sure how much of what I've heard is fact versus, parody, satire, whatever sort of word is the right one to use in that situation.
Let's see. The top 10 craziest Sarah Palin quotes. This ought to be fun. Let's see. As Putin rears his head and comes into the airspace of the United States, where do they go? It's Alaska. It's right here, over the border. Pretty much explaining why Alaska's proximity to Russia gives her foreign policy experience.
Yep. Not how that works.
Yeah, it's not by osmosis. Let's see, Mr. President, the only thing that stops a bad guy with a nuke is a good guy with a nuke. Right.
That is the principle of mutually assured destruction, though.
True, but it's just... Right?
Yeah.
Sarah Palin on how President Obama should deal with the Russian president, Vladimir Putin, by the way. In other words, nuke him. The America I know and love is not the one in which my parents or my baby with Down syndrome, because of course you got to throw that one out, right?
Yeah.
Will have to stand in front of Obama's death panel so that his bureaucrats to decide, based on subjective judgment of their level of productivity in society, whether they are worthy of health care. Such a system is downright evil. Basically talking about the Obama health plan, Obamacare. It's kind of funny. Instead, you have people postponing medical procedures to the point that, it's beyond the point of no return. Huh, how about that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I kept seeing Medicare for all is bad because there's a waiting period. Commercials lately. Let's see if there's any other good ones here. We used to hustle over the border for healthcare we received in Canada. And I think now, isn't that ironic? Sarah Palin admitting that her family used to get treatment in Canada's single-payer healthcare system, despite having demonetized such government-run programs as socialized medicine that would lead to death panels like rationing. Right?
Yeah. I want to go to Canada. We've had a couple serious conversations about going to Canada to purchase insulin and things because it's much cheaper to fly to Canada, buy a shitload of insulin, and come home than to just buy it normally. Syrup? Sure, I get you some maple syrup.
That's like the anti-insulin.
I'll just do blood draw.
No thanks. I don't want to take the risk that you're contagious.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I mean, just these are real quotes, by the way. That's the scary thing, huh?
Yeah,
it makes me worried about the future. The Times, Tom had a cover recently talking about Trumpism in the future. Essentially the lasting impact on politics, and that's a scary thought, huh?
Yeah, I've seen some stuff about foreign policy worries and woes based on the fact that no one can trust the United States and how it's boosting China's global power and just all kinds of stuff. It's a mess. Clusterfuck doesn't really cover it.
Yeah, maybe we should put a warning before the post-show banter. Warning, politics be here.
Yep.
More so than usual.
Heavy politics. Here they be.
Yeah, it's kind of sad that a parody candidate like Vermin Supreme actually seems more sane.
Yeah.
When he's talking about genetically engineering flying monkeys to work as tooth fairies. But of course, you are behind his pony government identification program.
Absolutely.
Oh, look, he's bitching about Iran. It's kind of weird, Iran breaking a deal after one of the major superpowers says "fuck you."
Let's see, 90, 20. Let's save it if it's another slow week next week, or if we're like, hey, we could need like 10 more minutes.
All right.
Go Newgrounds on next week. Also, hi, Craig. Oh, oops, I just closed the Void Bastards wiki.
Yeah, gonna need that one, right?
Yeah. All right. Close the summer sum game.
Close that. Close that. Close that. Switch microphones.
So I don't know why I post things on Reddit or respond to things on Reddit. Recently discovered, maybe this is one you showed to me. Honestly, sometimes it's hard for me to keep track because you show me so many. But is it bullshit? But the people just ask questions like, is it bullshit that blah, blah, blah? A lot of like old wives' tales or, advertising things.
I've never seen that one.
What, is it bullshit?
Yeah.
Oh, well, yay!
So you're up to 20-1 now or something like that?
Yeah. I'm helping. I'm contributing. But, people ask, like, is it bullshit that whatever? And I've responded to a few here lately. And some of them are a little bit more, I think, a little bit more difficult to prove. Like someone asked, is it bullshit that Walmart has the cheapest prices on, food or whatever? And so I responded like, anecdotally, or this is my anecdotal evidence or something like that. I was like, I said, in my town, no. There's this other food chain that's more regional that has much cheaper, and I put it in quotes, like bargain price foods for the same.
Yeah, that's the thing. Is that for stuff. That it's really regional because where I live, the local grocery chain, it's yes and no. Because for some pantry stuff, it's far cheaper, but for other pantry stuff that they would ship, it's not.
Well, I mean, basically, that's what my answer came down to. Is that like for a lot of your like bargain food items, this regional chain is cheaper, but for a lot of other things, Walmart is cheaper, and so you just have to learn where to shop for what. And then like 3 people were like, "You don't know what you're talking about. Walmart's always cheaper. That's not bullshit." I'm like, "Fuck you!" The first thing I said was, "This is my anecdotal evidence based on where I live."
Mm-hmm.
That sort of thing has happened like 4 or 5 times. I'm just like, why do I keep posting on Reddit? I should just read the interesting content and laugh at the funny memes.
See, I just stay in like the cooking subreddit now. They're a lot nicer there.
And then I had somebody come try. I mean, obviously this person doesn't know, but I think it's so funny whenever people think that they know more than you do about your own like thing. I was talking about some psychological stuff, and somebody was like, actually, and I'm like, fuck you. I'm a therapist. I do this shit for a living. But anyways, they don't know that. They just think they're being smart on the internet.
And then you're up late at night. No. There's somebody wrong with the internet.
I've pretty much stopped posting stuff about, unless I'm specifically in like the psychology subreddit or something, one of the psychology subreddits, because it's just not. It frustrates me, and I don't need that. So, but yeah, I almost posted a tweet about it today, and I was like, why would I tweet about this? It's just one of those bullshit like passive aggressive things. I won't tweet about it.
No, you'll just bitch about it on
I'll just bitch about it. Yeah, exactly.
I mean, let's be honest, right?
Yep. Perfect content. Non-content.
Yeah, see, I just like going to the cooking subreddit because there's actual discussion. Like, there's a 1,400 comment thread here that's a day old. What cooking utensil / tool do you regret buying and why?
This weird, like, I don't know what it's called. It's like a meat masher thing. Yeah, what is that thing called?
Tenderizer?
No, it's not a tenderizer. It's a big plastic thing. It looks like someone took a bunch of spatulas and like taped them together. And you use it to like
Oh, now I gotta see this.
mix up or chop up meat. I don't know what this thing is
Are
called.
the claws?
No, I don't think
Because
so.
I've seen the bear claws one. Yeah, basically cosplay Wolverine.
No, it's not that. That would be funny to play around with.
I'm not sure if I have any real regrets on what I've picked up. I mean, a lot of my more niche stuff I've gotten through thrift shops, so it's the number one thing voted here right now is a George Foreman grill. But this is also the original version, not the one I have, and I spent $13 to get mine. So a lot less investment. Then the number 2 is hilarious. A fortune cookie maker from Amazon.
That seems like a fun silk. Yeah, I could see that. I could see regretting that.
Yeah, let me link you this because this would be good Franken content, right? I linked it through Discord.
Yeah,
it's already shut down Steam. Cheap can openers, which I could see. One of those avocado slicer things. And a handheld spiralizer.
Yeah, I'll have to take a picture of this and send it to you later. Or actually go find out what it is. Because, like, kitchen utensils is way too broad a category. It's in the dishwasher. But, like, I never use it. Katie almost never uses it. It just takes up space in our drawer.
Like here's another one. A tuna strainer. Literally a can-shaped piece of plastic that you put little fish cutouts that you put on top of the can of tuna. Isn't that called the lid? I mean, sure, you wash off the lid first, but still. Let's see, there's a lot of juicers on here as well. And it's probably not a good sign whenever I'm going through and also it's like, oh, I should pick that up at some point.
We've got a juicer that someone gave us. I don't know if we've ever used it. I mean, we didn't buy it, so no regret on that one. But someone gave it to us when they moved.
I mean, even my spiralizer, even though it was a freebie, essentially. I mean, it's not just a spiralizer, so, I've used it as a juicer. Say blenders, because they don't use them. One person said getting a really good knife because they dropped it on their foot. Like, having content like this to go through is a lot more fun than having people bitch at me saying, well, you don't know what you're talking about when you say, oh, it depends on what things.
Still looking for this thing. I haven't given up yet. I'm about to give up, though. I'm about to give up. Because it's 9:00 and we need to get the show started. But still. One last thing. Because Katie's bought a bunch of stuff from... Oh, this is stupid. This isn't what I was looking for, but this is stupid. A salad chopper. It's like a scissors thing.
Yeah, I mean, I have kitchen shears. I've used kitchen shears whenever I've wanted to just, roughly chops, like lettuce or something.
Also, a cutting board and a knife works great.
Yeah, I mean, this is literally. Oh well, I have one or two pieces of lettuce that I need to chop up a little bit more because I typically just get bagged salads.
Mm-hmm.
Because otherwise, I don't eat them fast enough.
Here it is. Mix and Shop.
Oh, this is
That's what this is called. Isn't it? Mix and Shop. I remember Katie buys lots of stuff from Pampered Chef.
Why?
I don't know. It just sits in our drawer all the time.
Hey, I have something that does that. It's called a spatula.
We have several of those. A couple of really good ones. The only
Oh,
Couple of
I think I see something even worse on this page. That
what?
mix and masher
Mix and masher. Oh,
on the related products.
what is that? That's a disaster.
That's like the world's weakest, a potato masher.
Why would I want this flexible nylon head? I don't want that when I'm trying to smash potatoes.
No, it's not supposed to smash potato. Oh, okay, it's supposed to smash potatoes, but it's also for guacamole. How the hell are you going to make applesauce with that?
Very carefully.
I mean, that's going to make such lumpy applesauce. Yeah, this site is terrible. Oh, look, there's a sweet potato version of it as well. Or sorry, it's being used in a sweet potato recipe. That's terrible. I think I would break that in like the first usage. And it has 3.7 out of 5 stars. A great masher. Yeah, if your other option is to grab the hot potatoes by your bare hands.
Just smash it with your hands. I've done that before. You just let them cool off. They're still mushy. Like if that's all you got. If you haven't got any other tools or anything around, but I mean you can do it with a fork or a spatula,
or a couple pieces of saran wrap and a fucking heavy pan.
Yeah, that would work. I hadn't thought of that, but that would work.
I mean, what's the fun of cast iron if you can't beat the ever-living hell out of something? It's just, I'm not sure which is worse, actually. I think the masher's worse, but it's just, it's like the worst design possible for that.
Yeah, the masher is definitely worse than the mix and shop. But I mean, you see where I was trying to like figure out how to, because it's like someone took a bunch of spatulas and just like glued them together. It's like, here you go.
It's like a mace of spatulas. Really shitty ones.
As far as like build quality goes, it's pretty sturdy. It looks like shitty plastic, but it's pretty sturdy. I'll give it that.
Yeah, I'm not sure why it has to be pretty sturdy, because when the fuck would you ever use it?
That's true. I've used it a couple of times randomly. It's like, well, the metal spatula's like in the dishwasher that's running right now, and this meat is kind of frozen, and just like smash it all up. Oh, that's right there. I'll use that. That's about the only time I've ever reached for it. Otherwise, I just get a spatula. It would make a decently effective bludgeoning tool if you didn't have other things around. Surprisingly hefty for its size.
Yeah, but the thing is, I have a lot of hefty things in the kitchen that I could bludgeon things with.
That's true, I do. I don't know when I would ever be picking this over one of the many other things. But I remember that there was a while that like Katie was buying a bunch of stuff through Pampered Chef because like she had some friends or whatever, and that whole multi-level marketing bullshit, like doing like parties or whatever. And so like she was getting a bunch of stuff for a while. She hasn't got anything in a year, 2 years. I don't remember.
Holy shit!
I don't think it's been since we've moved.
I'm just going through their site and wow.
What, Pampered Chef?
Yeah. Does that include a slave to cook for you? A double burner griddle. A griddle. So a piece of metal for $200.
Where is that?
I went to just the shop and just went, just clicked shop and went to, I believe it was just cookware. Yeah, cookware.
Non-stick double burner griddle, $230.
Hey, they have a cookware tool and utensil holder set for $150. Wonder if it includes the shitty mace. Hey, it doesn't, so it's worthless. Right?
Just looking at this, what? Why? $230 for this. I'm broken. My brain is broken.
I mean, hell, the quick cooker and accessories, which let's call it what it is, that looks like it's a air fryer, is $285.
Is it an air fryer or is it a pressure cooker?
I can't tell.
It's a pressure cooker.
Okay, well, still, right?
Yeah. Pressure cookers make things fast, but in general, they make them taste shitty.
I haven't really used them, so.
We use one all the time now. We got one as a gift. I can't remember if it was a Christmas gift or something. When we got it out.
Wow, a Dutch oven that with a glass lid for $250. Is this a site in U.S. dollars? Is this like in pesos or something?
Probably U.S. dollars. I mean, it's all just bullshit. Because, I mean, it's a multi-level market. So you're supposed to, like, have a party. And you, as the hostess, gets a discount for other items that people buy. And it's like they sell, like, you know, 200. Yeah, it's a pyramid scheme. But they sell, like, 200 of their shitty potato masher and salad chopper. And I already forgot the name of the fucking weird spatula mace.
Yeah,
but they sell all of like 200 of those, and you get a griddle top for, you know, $50 instead of 200, which is still too much. But it's like, ooh, I got a discount.
All right, the site makes me angry, but also I can't look away.
Well, I just closed everything down, shutting it down. Nothing to see here, folks. Move along. Scrolling up. Did I change the date for the show notes? I did. Okay. All right. I got Audacity up.
Yeah, I guess I should load up Audacity and get away from this.
Exit that.
I mean, what the fuck are people smoking to buy from this? I know, multi-level marketing.
I've always stayed very far away from that stuff.
People are fucking stupid. This makes me more upset than seeing all the boxed cake mixes. Or watching the new episode of Good Eats. Seeing like all the meal kit stuff and all the pre-cut, as in cubed, boneless, skinless chicken breast that people are advertising on there. I mean, it's like the worst show to advertise it on, right?
It's a food channel, so let's advertise food. Air quotes, food.
I mean, it's like people that's watching this like, I can't do that. No, I'll do that instead. Oh, and don't get me started on organic.
Okay, then let's not get started on that.
Yeah, we should probably actually do the show.
We should.
Yeah.
Unless you just want to do a Franken episode where we just talk for 2 hours about bullshit, and that's the show. We talk about Void Bastards for 5 minutes. And then bullshit for 2 hours.
I think that's pretty much going to be our show this week anyway, but let's do the actual show.